So the Air Force has core values of integrity, service before self, and excellence in all we do. And those core values, they are still with me. And if I can continue to embody those core values in what I do in real estate as I serve clients, whether they're buyers or sellers, or just people that are needing information about their home or the real estate market, I strive to serve with excellence. I try to come from contribution and serve people above myself. And of course, have integrity with everything that you do.
Hi everyone. Today we are flipping the script. Instead of the host guiding the conversation, we are turning the mic towards the story behind the voice. You've heard him help clients navigate major life moves with clarity, support military families through transition, and bring calm strategy to moments that feel anything but simple. Today, together, we are uncovering the wisdom behind the work, the purpose, the discipline, and the heart that shaped every decision he helps the others make. He's the foundation of the Falls Home Front, retired Air Force officer, realtor, business strategist, and the trusted guide across Wichita Falls and North Texas. Tim, it's your turn to sit in the guest seat. Are you ready to flip the script together today?
Yes, I am. Thank you for doing this.
Welcome to your own podcast.
Thank you.
And now we will dive in because your approach to real estate feels less like a transition and more like a mission. You've built a career grounded in service, first in Air Force and now in real estate and business strategy. What originally drew you to real estate? And how has your why evolved as your career has grown by years?
That's a great question. Thank you. So I've always had the entrepreneurial bug since I was young. My grandfather, he kind of gave me the entrepreneurial bug. He owned a bottling plant that bottled the grape and crush drinks, canned to dry, ginger ale, and some other drinks like that. He was doing the bottling plant. He also owned an aircraft parts supply store at the San Antonio airport called Western Aero. And so as I grew up watching him, I wanted to follow in his footsteps and have my own business, be an entrepreneur. However, I had a really big problem. I stuttered horribly. And as a young person, when I was like in junior high and in elementary school, I could not answer the phone. We had one of those kitchen phones on the wall with the big long cord, and the rule of the house was whoever was closest to the phone when it rang was responsible for answering it. Well, when the phone would ring, I would just get like this pressure in my chest. I would get a lot of anxiety built up, and I would answer the phone, and it would just take me probably 30 seconds in reality, but it felt to me like an hour just struggling to get through to answer the phone. I had a speech therapist at the time, and her name was Pat, and she told me that if I continued to avoid answering the phone, that probably two things would happen. One is every single time the phone rang and I avoided it, the next time would get even harder. And the other thing was it would probably not stay with the phone, but would translate into other areas of my life. And I didn't want that to happen. So I made a mission in my life of not avoiding things that scared me to do, answering the phone. And I put myself in positions where I would have to speak. So when I was graduating high school, deciding what to do in college, I was like, do I get a business degree because I want to be an entrepreneur? I'm also interested in like aircraft and different things like that. So I thought, well, I'll get a mechanical engineering degree. and so then I went through that. And then as I was in college, I went into the ROTC program and found that I really liked that. I was still stuttering on and off quite a bit at the time, but I would go through the RTC program. And one of the things we had to do in field training in order to graduate, get a commission in the Air Force, was you
Mm-hmm.
had to drill a flight. So a flight is a group of about 24 to 30 people, and you have to stand in front of them and then give them commands. And so this test was they put 4 cones in a parking lot and made a box, and they gave you an index card with 10 commands. And you had to march
Mm-hmm.
your flight into the box, had to call these 10 commands in order, and no one could step outside of the box. So I was able to do that. Obviously, I had to speak in time. I had to say specific words in time, and I was able to do that. That was like a really big milestone. And I did that. I graduated with a mechanical engineering degree. And through that, I learned about the civil engineering squadron, which that career field does all the base maintenance, facility maintenance, construction design, all that stuff. And so that really interested me. So I ended up going into the civil engineering squadron as a civil engineering officer. And I was able to spend 20 years in the Air Force. And through that, a lot of times my position was getting base priorities across the different squadrons and putting those together, creating a priority list, and presenting it to the wing commander and all of the wing staff at the staff meetings, and standing in front of all of them and presenting, okay, here's the priority list, and this is why I think it should be the wing priority list, and go up to headquarters for funding. And so just another example of continuing to put myself in speaking situations where I had to do public speaking. I had to go through the obstacle that was holding me back. And then when I was getting ready to retire, I still wanted to be an entrepreneur. And so I was looking, it's like, what career do I choose? And I had been interested in investing in single family homes for a long time as well. I had bought and sold a few homes as I was in the Air Force, active duty. And so I decided to choose real estate as my career. I've done investing. I've done some fix and flip projects. I've also have some rental properties and things like that. And I decided to join Keller Williams Realty and become a realtor so I could provide the full spectrum of real estate solutions to clients. And so that's how I got where I am.
We will talk a bit more about your military background, and I believe that it plays a big role in how you serve today. How has your Air Force experience shaped the way that you work with your clients today?
Yes, it has. So the Air Force has core values of integrity, service before self, and excellence in all we do. And those core values, they are still with me. And if I can continue to embody those core values in what I do in real estate as I serve clients, whether they're buyers or sellers, or just people that are needing information about their home or the real estate market, I strive to serve with excellence. I try to come from contribution and serve people above myself. And of course have integrity with everything that you do. So sometimes you have to have hard conversations, and so not to avoid those. So.
Yeah. You mentioned that during your whole life and experiences, you tried to put yourself in a situation where you could front with people or situation that will make you talk more and help you with your stuttering problem. And last year you decided to start a podcast. And this podcast isn't just information, it's a perspective. Why did you start the False Home Front? And how does it reflect your bigger mission in real estate and in business?
Yes, it's definitely another thing outside my comfort zone. Yeah, so I wanted to be able to have a platform that we can share the story of our community here in Wichita Falls and in North
Mhm.
Texas. We have such a great community here, and we have such great stories of so many small business owners, entrepreneurs. A lot of them are veterans that the military brought them here to town, And like me, they chose to stay and build a business here. And so I was wanting to help to advocate for them, to promote their businesses, and to tell their stories. Why, after living all over the world, beautiful places like I've lived in Germany and lived in Iceland and was deployed to places all over the world, why choose Wichita Falls? And so it's a great community, and I just wanted to be able to tell the stories of the people that have chosen to stay here and build businesses and build their lives here.
Okay, you have released a lot of episodes until now, and when someone goes in your channel, can see the episodes, the guests, and all the messages that the episodes share. If someone finishes an episode with just one takeaway, what do you hope that lesson is?
So that's a good question. Hopefully, it is about the community and that they get inspired from the stories that we share, the obstacles that the guests have overcome, and how they have faced adversity and built the success that they're seeing now.
Okay, that's a great takeaway from the episodes of the podcast. Now we will go back a bit more in your histories with your clients. Some of the most powerful lessons come from the people that we serve every day.
Yeah.
Is there a client story that truly shaped how you approach your work and life today? Can you share that with us?
Well, there's been many. What comes to my mind is one story. There was an Air Force member. He was newly married, so he and his wife were moving here to their first station and were looking to buy a house. We were able to find them a really nice house near the base, and they're able to move in, and they did some things. They did some painting and some updates to make it their home. And being a part of helping a young family get started, move into their first home, and to be able to start building that life together. And what is also really nice about this is that they're able to keep that house after they have moved to their next assignment and keep it as a rental property, because our home prices here in Wichita Falls are very affordable compared to a lot of other places in the country. And they were able to buy a house with a VA financing, so they had 100% financing on the house. And now they're able to keep it as a growth asset for them and give them a little bit of cash flow now, extra in their life, as well as helping them to build wealth for the future and help to supplement their eventual retirement. And so just being a part of that process, helping them start off on a great foot, building wealth for their future and another income stream.
Yeah, that kind of makes you part of the family too, because you are there to help them with the very first big step of their life together. Was there a moment where you were reminded that trust and relationships matter more than the deals itself? You mentioned this story for your clients, but was there a specific moment where you said, okay, relationships matter most than the deal?
Right. I don't know if it's just one particular instance, but buying a home for most people is the single largest investment that they make. Sometimes up to that point in their life, it's the single biggest investment that they've ever made. And so it's much more than just a single transaction. It's not just a sale of a commodity. I'm not selling a widget or a TV or something like that. I see it as a life cycle approach to the entire, not just a purchase, but the lifestyle of them being, or the life cycle of them being in the house and everything that goes along with that. There's a lot with AI, with artificial intelligence now. ChatGPT has incorporated Zillow, so people can go on to ChatGPT. If you didn't know this, you can just press the audio button and you can just start talking about all that you want in a house, and it's going to come up with some results. And there's been just an enormous amount just in the last 12 to 24 months of advancements in what artificial intelligence can do and can help consumers both on the buying and selling side. However, the human connection is something that isn't there with the AI. So there's lots of information out there, but how do you interpret that information? What's important? What is not important? And more specifically, what's important to you and your family at this particular point in time in your
in your
life,
life.
right? And
Mhm.
so that human connection is something that is truly important, especially with such a large investment that people are making. If it was just buying a new TV or a new computer, then it may not be as important to know, okay, how does this affect your lifestyle right now?
Yeah.
But a home that you choose and the neighborhood and the neighbors that you're going to have are very important to your overall life and into the future.
For those listening, what's one simple way that they can start building more meaningful and genuine relationships in their own careers or lives? Is there any tip that you can give them?
Oh, gosh. That's a very good question, very involved. Let me see if I can think of. Looking past the immediate transaction is really important. So it's not just about making a one time sale, but how's that relationship going to continue? And what kind of follow up system is in place? Do you have a purposeful process for following up after a sale, after a single transaction? When I talk to people, I hope people know that I'm calling them or I'm talking to them because I care about their life and not just because I'm looking to make them sell their house or something because I'm
Mhm.
not doing that, right? And
Mhm.
and so whatever industry you're in, whether you're selling a cup of coffee or your computers or you're in the service industry and you're a construction contractor and doing renovations for a person's house. So what is like going on in their life? What is behind this transaction? What's the reason why they're approaching you right now for this? See if you can make that connection and then follow up with that in the future.
Yeah, because you never know how life will turn out, and you can meet that person again in your life. So having a good relationship will always help. Okay, we've talked about your career and you've built a career that blends purpose, strategy, and service. What's exciting you most about the future, personally and professionally now, when you think of it?
It's a great environment right now. We talked about the advancements with artificial intelligence. I don't believe that AI is going to replace real estate agents or many other people, especially in service industries, where you have to have that human connection. However, the agents and the business owners who embrace artificial intelligence and use it to enhance the customer experience and to help to provide better service to their clients is going to be the one that advances. So it's not necessarily AI is going to replace real estate agents or any other business owner, but the ones who use AI and they use it strategically in order to better serve their clients are going to replace the business owners who don't embrace that right now. And I see a lot of opportunities to be able to help to serve clients better through the use of technology.
We mentioned opportunities, and I was thinking, are there trends or opportunities in real estate, business, or community development that you are especially curious to explore next in the future? Maybe using the AI more
Yeah.
or
Yes, definitely incorporating more of the tools that are coming available with the artificial intelligence. And also, something I'm looking to do is to have more of the human connection. And to further that, I'm planning a few events that are going to be hosting this year. And in December, we did a Photos with Santa event. We invited the community out to the Duck Coffee Company, and we had Santa there, and we had a photo booth. And so that was one event, and I'll probably do something like that again towards the end of the year. And then looking at doing some more community events, maybe a spring picnic or something in the fall, something like that.
things that will help the community feel better together. Maybe just working together or doing things together will help everyone to know each other better and to build connections and relationships. We are in the end of this conversation today, Tim, but I have one last question. For someone preparing to make their next move in their life, or in real estate, in business, in whatever, what's your best piece of advice that you could give them?
So somebody looking for their next step, what they're next doing, I would say look ahead 5 to 10 years in the future, and what do you want that to look like? There is a saying that I've been told that people tend to underestimate what they can do in 5 years, but they overestimate what they can do in 1 year. Look out 5 to 10 years in the future and see what do you want that picture to look like, and then back it up and say, okay, this is what I need to do this year. But no, it's not going to be linear. It's probably going to be more exponential, where you're probably going to go along and not be able to see a lot of immediate results, but then those efforts compound over time. So don't expect a linear progression over time, but
Yeah.
be willing
Don't
to go through a couple of years where the progress isn't seen so clearly.
don't expect things to happen overnight because they take time. Okay. Thank you so much, Tim, for this great Flip the Script episode. And to all the listeners, go ahead and watch the other episodes of the False Home Front podcast. You have a lot of things to learn there.
Thank you. Appreciate you tuning in. Want more insider tips on buying, selling, and investing in Wichita Falls and North Texas? Subscribe now and keep watching. Your next move starts here.